So I am joined with Kyle Roof, Mr. Lorem Ipsum.
That's me.
How are you doing?
Apparently. I'm doing great. How you doing?
We are obviously in SEO Estonia. First of all, before we do the 5 minutes, how's the event?
It's been great. It's been really great. A lot of fun. The kind of people you want to meet. The kind of people you want to be around.
Yeah, definitely.
Yourself included.
Networking, lots of networking. We'll
That's the
bit.
biggest thing is networking is the most important part of any conference, and this is a great group to network with. The presentations have been solid.
Mastermind, great mastermind.
Great
groups.
mastermind, yeah. Yeah, it's all been, and it's really, I can't take any credit for this because I have nothing to do with it, but the professionalism of like the setup and what's going on, like all the little things.
Yeah.
That's all been really nice.
So, it's called 5 Minutes With. We're with Kyle, and I'll let you press the button, right? So, my question to you is information gain.
Okay.
And obviously, with a lot of HCU hit websites, there wasn't much information gain. I would probably say that it was a little bit more of a copycat SEO strategy. So they would do topical research or keyword research, and basically they would just get hit with, because they're just copying the exact same articles. So what would you do with information gain? You can press the button since.
Well, let me ask you this: how do you define information gain? What do you think that is?
So in some cases it could be like new articles that not many people are speaking about. In some cases it could be zero search volume keywords.
Yeah.
It could be, for example, let's say LG released a new television and you're the first website talking about that new television.
Yeah.
So articles like that could be information gain.
It does seem, when you think about like one article, you know, there does seem to be a certain portion that does need to match the expectation, because you can't teach Google anything new.
Yeah.
Really. So you have to match a certain level of expectation. But there does seem to be maybe that 10% bit that having something that is unique, that is the information gain, is very valuable.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of thing that it'll help you index faster. You can see that. I think it can help you become update proof.
Yeah.
And I think it's the kind of thing that gives you an opportunity to rank better. So you've got that in place, kind of the box has been ticked, and then anything else you do on top is amplified.
Yeah, for sure.
But you can't get too lost in information. It all can't be new information.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, it has to be a portion of it, and I think it has to be a small portion. I would say like a 5 to 10%er.
Yeah, definitely.
And then even within that information gain, it still has to be semantically related. The terms have to be somewhat related to where you're at. So like you can talk about a new concept, but it can't go too far afield because you get away from centerpiece annotation.
Yeah.
Centerpiece annotation is the idea that Google looks at a page and it decides what the page is about, and then it looks at each of the sections of the page to make sure that it matches that topic.
Yeah.
And if there's portions that don't match the topic, then the page starts to get discounted.
Yeah, definitely.
So the information gain you do still has to be semantically related to that top level thing. So you can't just put new information for the sake of new information.
Yeah,
It still has to be tied in.
I actually spoke about this in the presentation today, and I said like what a lot of people would do is they would have like a law website, so they might do injury claims, they might do divorce law, etc. But then they might also have a page on that website talking about how much do lawyers earn. Now, yes, it's talking about law, but that's probably more for a job-seeking website or a finance website. You wouldn't necessarily have that on your law-related website.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm with you. Here's where I would look. When you search for your term and then you click over on the images thing and then you see the entities that are at the top there, new entities do hit that area. And so that could be something that's a category or it could be a page. And so if I were looking for information gain, you know, Google will often lead you to what it wants.
Yeah.
And I've seen new stuff hit there faster than maybe other places, even faster than like related searches where people also ask. So if you're looking for information gain and you want to be kind of edgy and out there, I would look at the entity terms that show up in images, and then that's what I would focus on if I was to add to a page to get to that information gain.
Yeah, that's quite a good strategy actually. It's it definitely does help doing that. And then another strategy as well, like if you're working with an actual real business, I actually like to tell like the business owners or whoever I'm dealing with, like go and sit down with your sales staff.
Yeah, it's 100%.
Because like your sales staff are probably getting like the commonly asked questions 50 times a week, probably.
The other thing you're going to get there is you as the business owner or the person that's in it know the technical term.
Exactly.
Or you know the correct term.
Yeah.
But you don't know how people are asking about it or describing it when they don't quite understand it or they know what they want. So they'll describe it like you might know that this is a whatever in technical specs. And they're like, I just need the long table.
Yeah.
I need the whatever. And they're going to describe it in a way. That's great information gain.
Yeah.
Because that's how people are searching. That's how they're thinking about it, even though it is outside of what the correct technical term is for the thing or how to properly describe it. You could definitely use that to add in. And then you're going to stay semantically relevant.
Yeah, definitely.
So you're not going to run afoul of centerpiece annotation.
Then another strategy that I've recently started using, or the team's recently started using, is POP, obviously.
Hey.
Yeah. So nice little shout out to POP. But that does quite a good job of like placing semantically relevant keywords that you just wouldn't have thought. Because again, not to compare it to like other content writing tools, but a lot of content writing tools, I see it as kind of like keyword density, where where they're telling you like, right, if you want to rank for best running shoes, you need to mention Nike 18 times and Adidas 15 times and whatever else 6 times and sole of the shoe 4 times. It's kind of like the old school keyword density. You're not bringing anything new. You're kind of just replicating what the top 10 results are doing.
The one thing that I like that we do, though, is a lot of people think, like with that running shoes example, I need to get running shoes in the content this many times. There's a decent chance you don't have to say running shoes in like paragraph text.
Yeah.
You might say it in your titles, but you might not actually use the target term. It's not needed because the variations on it actually will do more of the heavy lifting.
Yeah.
And that gets you away from any kind of keyword stuffing issues, or kind of problems with like SEO'd content.
Yeah, definitely.
You can get away from that, and that's actually something that I'm proud of that we do, because we identify those other terms that will help you rank without having to slam that target term in as much. And then when you get to the information gain stuff, that's where you can really expand. Those variations are usually easier to write about than
definitely.
because you're not doing running shoes. You're actually getting into those other terms.
Yeah,
that'll help you rank.
And then one last thing, I know it's went over 5 minutes. Everyone has.
Yeah, that's all.
But one thing that I've noticed after HCU is like instead of articles, like, I'm going to use this as an example, right? But instead of your page title being like best running shoes for men, there's a lot more websites that are ranking for like, I tried 15 of the best running shoes, or I tried 15 running shoes. Here are the results.
Okay.
So it's kind of like you would very much see that a lot more on YouTube a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
But now it's kind of like replicated on the actual SERPs.
Here's what I would do. For SERP and ranking purposes, I would still use that, running shoes, these are the 15 best running shoes, but I would use that title in schema and like OG.
Right, okay.
That's where I put that for the opportunity to get into Google Discover.
Yeah.
That's where I would.
Yeah.
So I would still, for ranking purposes, I think I would still use the dry one,
right.
And then I use the fun one.
For Google Discover. Yeah, that makes sense.
That's how I would approach that.
All right, perfect. Thanks for joining me.
Right on.